A habit. What is a habit? So some Google definitions. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. A habit is a routine of behaviour that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. That's really important, because what I want is to take you from being in a position where you feel like it's a struggle to be this healthy person who looks after their weight or manages their disease or is concerned about their energy levels, to somebody who embeds so much into their daily practice that these things become easy. We can all agree that a healthy person has healthy habits. So if I asked you just straight away to just shout out 3 things a healthy person does, you could probably easily come up with those 3 things. And some of them you may even do, okay? But the difference between a healthy person and an unhealthy person is usually just consistency. And that consistency usually comes down to habits. And habits don't take any effort because they're just such an embedded part of our life and our lifestyle. So I'm making notes because I tend to go off on a tangent and just rattle on. So essentially what I want to say is, we know what a healthy person is and what they do, but we often don't do it, and we often can't close the gap between the knowing and the doing. And that's what my job's going to be over the next 20 days, to coach you to close that gap, but also to give you small, manageable things that you can do every day, which are going to create those big changes in the long run. So it's that idea of look after your pennies and the pounds look after themselves. It's a similar concept. If you just look after the tiny little things I ask you to do, by the end of the month, by the end of 6 months, by the end of this year, you are going to be a healthy woman. So what I want you to do is I want you to kind of come up with an identity for yourself, all right? That this woman that you're going to be, that you're going to become, your dream outcome. In the workbook, there is a silhouette of a female face. I want you to use that as essentially like a vision board for your future self. But you are going to fill it with everything you think that healthy woman would be, would do, how she would act, how she would look, how she would dress, how she would speak, what she thinks about herself, how she treats other people. And the reason for that is because your intrinsic motivation is going to come down to that. If you go, I want to lose weight, and then but I also want to eat that chocolate bar, and it's not enough of a driving force to just want to lose weight. You have to want a whole identity of who you're going to be in the future. So you may decide to use a magazine, you may decide to cut out little images, put on little, like, I don't know, like an outfit that you'd love your future self to wear. You might put some quotes, some phrases, you might spray perfume on there, do whatever you need to do, but also put down some actions that you know a healthy person does or perhaps doesn't do. So as an example, I am a healthy person, and as standard, I don't go to McDonald's, right? Don't get me wrong, I may go in the future because friends would, whatever, road trips. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but generally speaking, that is not a place I go and not something I do. If I'm hungry and I've got no food in, I'm much more likely to stop at the corner shop and get a loaf of bread and a tin of beans, because I know that is much healthier, quicker, and actually cheaper, more beneficial way for me to behave. So fill it. If you feel comfortable, you might want to share the image, or you might want to share some of the things that you've put on your image with the community, because remember, your pack, your group, psychologically, you are much more likely to perform if your pack is in support of you and if you are all helping each other. So that's kind of the idea that who you hang around with has the biggest influence on you. Well, your community now needs to be that influence on you. So share what you're doing, share your ideas, and create that future version of yourself. You might even want to give her a name, like Beyonce's got Sasha Fierce when she goes on stage. Who is this new woman who you are going to become? And we're going to frequently talk about her. We're going to look back at her. You're going to hopefully keep her in your mind's eye at all times and know that that's who you can be. She's in there. She's waiting to come out. Once you've completed that exercise and you've got this incredible woman who you know you can be, we now need to start thinking about the small, tiny actions that we can perform each day that are going to get us to here. Okay? So what does she do? How does she behave? What does she get up? What does she say to herself in the morning? You are going to start every morning looking at that image and asking yourself that question. Interrogate yourself. You've probably heard of affirmations, getting up and saying, I can, I will, I am a healthy person. That's great. But also we need action to follow that affirmation. So when you get up in the morning, you're going to say, I am a healthy person. And how do I know I'm a healthy person? Well, for a start, I'll be doing this today and I certainly won't be doing that. And you're going to interrogate yourself and you are going to affirm to yourself who you are and what your intentions are for the day each day. Does a healthy person have chocolate? Yes. Does a healthy person have blowouts occasionally? Yes. You're not going to beat yourself up if those things happen, but we are going to jump on the back of the momentum that we've got going. You've just started a new program. It's new year. You are going to use that to add to the fact that you don't want to mess up over the next few days. So if you do, doesn't matter, carry on. You start again instantly. You don't start again tomorrow, you start again instantly. But today, I just want you to kind of come up with some actions that you think that you can start to work on. And you know what a healthy diet looks like. So if you go later on and go, should I get a Mackey's? You're not being that version of yourself that you just created. So today it's just about common sense and it's about realigning yourself every time you go to have a weak moment with who that woman is. If you want sticker somewhere, sticker on your bedroom wall, at the back of the toilet door, in your fridge, wherever you feel like you will need to see her, or keep her locked away because, some things we want to keep private and that's okay too.